Hello, lovely people. Black Ninja here, the engineer, and I'm here doing the same thing I always do, where I go on this little monologue, and then I realize, like midway through, that my mic's not on, so I'm just talking to nobody. Anywho's, the monologue was about this information right here. World premiere Mario Galaxy movie comes out this Wednesday. Kinda clock it. And last week, Nintendo decided to do some weird, strange stuff and leak this image of my boy Foxen Airmail McLeod. Right? I was one of my mains on Smash Bros. For years, and as I was explaining just a few minutes ago, not really a crossover guy. He doesn't he doesn't have crossovers within a Nintendo franchise. I feel like an area that he might have been great is the same way they put Link in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They should have put Fox in there with like a nice little, you know. It made no sense. They put the Blue Falcon in the game, but they didn't put Captain Falcon in there. Putting Link in there made absolutely no sense to me. It's funny because, like I said, we're tying that to the other news that came out a few days ago about them making a new Star Fox, which that would make sense. I don't know why they would announce that first and then this. And they're also making, because it's been quiet. It's the 40th year anniversary for Legend of Zelda, and it's been mad quiet. But apparently, what was leaked a few days ago, they're making a remake of Ocarina of Time, one of the best games of all time. Used to be 10 out of 10 by itself. Now, I love that game. I've played through it, I think, at least twice on the 64 and on the 3DS. And yeah, no, I think the 3DS remake is a good enough. Hold on, no, I played and I tried playing through Master Quest on the GameCube. So that's three times they've already made the game, or two times they've already made the game over. So I can't say I'm completely supportive of the remake, third time remake, Pokemon Go Ocarina of Time. But just like Pokemon, I'm sure it will still sell about 50 million copies if they package it up the right way. I don't think that it will sell Switch units, which is another issue. Anyways, so this week, Wednesday, this movie comes out. They dropped this, I think, last Thursday, just like a trailer. I mean, a picture, no trailer, just no context. They say you see the R Wing, see Fox. I'm guessing that's Great Fox over on this side, but it doesn't make any sense because Fox doesn't belong here. So what I'm jumping to the conclusion is they're making the Smash Bros. Movie. Let me just jump straight to it. Smash Bros. Movie is coming because Fox don't have no crossovers. Normally, Smash Bros is his only main crossover where he sees any Mario's or Luigi, you know what I mean, versus the Mario RPGs what I spoke about with Link and Yoshi. They're all mentioned throughout each other's games at some point, but this guy is solo. He's in outer space. They don't even mention him in Samus games, which I'm like, that was my tie. Honestly, I'm like, I think that Fox is one of the ones in space, but I think Samus, Captain Falcon are out there too, in all these galaxies, and that's when we gonna get the Super Smash Bros. Move. Now, I'll explain to my kid and my wife. Right, I'm looking at the original. You know what I mean? With this is break it down. Right, with Fox being in this movie randomly, we already now have about half the roster from the original game. Walk with me. All right. Now, as I was also explaining to my kids, because of Rosalina and Peach and Bowser being in the movie, we kind of jumped around a little bit. We're in the realms of Melee at least. Rosalina doesn't come until Smash 4, I believe. Yeah, let's take a walk down memory lane, right? What is this? Reject. This is the whole roster. I think they actually go in order, right? Ooh. Hey, there we go. Fighter numbers. Why is it doing this? Dark, because she's a copy. Can we get all of the renders, please? Thank you. There we go. I like this. By fighter number. All right. So we got Mario, Donkey Kong in the movie, confirmed. So the first 12 are these baddies right here, right? Except, yeah, Dark Samus doesn't count. So Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu, Luigi, Ness, Captain Falcon, Jigglypuff. Those are the original 12 big boys. You know what I mean? I love this game. It was a great time. Let me see. I can pull up that original roster. CC4. Great game. Love it to death. Made me, well, no, not completely made the game I am today. But yeah, Pokemon is mostly responsible for that. But yeah, these baddies, right? And right now we already have Luigi, Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and Fox in the movie, right? Which is, like I said, out of 12, it's a good 6 or a good 5, right? If we're not even accounting the secret characters, but we gotta count secret characters because Luigi. So they say let's cut off the edges and let's stay with the original 8. We got almost 5 out of 8. We might as well just finish the drill, right? Like, what are we doing? I'm as I was playing them, I think that these two, Captain Falcon and Samus, they can be tied to Fox about just being out in outer space, right? Bounty hunters. Uh, Samus is a bounty hunter and a Federation agent or whatever. I think Captain Falcon is a bounty hunter too. And then Fox, they're all essentially space heroes that fly spaceships. So I feel like if Fox can show up, these two can show up. Yoshi's already there. Kirby also a space warrior. But Kirby is from outer space or out there too. Dreamland is out there, a star in the pop planet or whatever. I can see those 4 being tied to whatever galaxy that they're all out there in and bringing them in. That's without even trying really hard, right? Without even having any crazy stories. As I was explaining to my family, the only ones I think that would have to explain is the ones that are already on Earth and didn't appear, like Pikachu, Jigglypuff, and Ness, who technically should be on Earth still. Um, but in during current time, Link maybe. I mean, we don't know where Hyrule is, but he's clearly from a different time frame. So the only way that he can get there, I don't think it would be galaxy, unless they're gonna put, what I mean, the Link world in its own galaxy. When it was like, they're humans or whatever. I would say maybe a different time frame or something. There'd probably have to be some time travel to get Link to where he needs to be. So I would say that's probably the biggest stretch. But you say Ness, Pikachu, Jigglypuff. If they just, I don't know. Pokemon would have to exist. I don't know. Maybe Pokemon can have their own world too. But Ness should just be on Earth. It's Earthbound. You know what I mean? It's nothing special or crazy about the world. His enemies are from outer space. It can tie to him as well. These are like seamless ties. Like I said, the only one I really that would be hard for me is Link. Link is the furthest from everyone else. Along with the Pokemon, I guess, in a way. But anywho's, I think it's definitely possible. Like I said, the monkey wrenches gets thrown in because we're already in melee territory with Peach being in the movie, Bowser being in the movie. Who else? Oh, Rosalina, who's all the way down. Where's Rosalina? Rosalina, Rosalina, where is Rosalina? Ooh, I'm missing something. Oh, there you go. Rosalina, right? Who, yes, by my math, she didn't come until Smash 4, right? So there'd be belaying about 40 people who are another person I think who could just jump in the movie since they are doing these crossovers. Put my boy Sonic in this movie. Let's see a collaboration on film since they competing so bad. It would be so nice to see, wouldn't it? Anyways, I don't think that that's gonna happen, but it would be nice to see. But yes, the only issue is, like I said, there's a lot of see. If they put Fox in there, you gotta throw Falcon. Like, there's no way you're not gonna have Falcon in there, right? Too, right? But once again, once we get to these numbers, it was like we might as well just put the whole melee cat. Oh, and Bowser, Bowser. So Bowser, Peach, and Rosalina is the ones who make it. Like, we can't just do the original Smash roster. We would have to do melee ascent or melee adjacent because we don't want to go too far into the Smash 4. There's, like I said, there's a whole bevy of people that just need to be added before that point. Anyways, if we're doing that. But either way, I'm excited. I think that the it's very random to throw Fox in there. I'm down for it though. I just make sense of it. And if it's just to promote this new game, which I hope once again we're not doing another remake like Star Fox Zero. Um, we don't need another origin story, honestly. And I'm also trying to figure out how a rail shooter would work on the Switch, like, or just even that concept of rail shooters. I was showing my son. I'm like, he's like, oh, I'm like, it's the Switch is already, or sorry, the Switch 2 is already struggling with games, which is hence the next thing I want to talk about. So unless these games are super excited, I just don't see them doing the numbers. But we're excited. So I'm probably gonna get the premiere on Wednesday or Thursday and see what they do. What they're doing. I'm predicting Smash. That's where I'm going. Or at least it's more Nintendo crossovers. I guess the next movie would have to be like the Nintendo movie, not Super Mario movie. Smash Bros. I don't even know what they would call it, but we'll see. Speaking of which, like I said, so the rumors this week: new Star Fox, new Zelda. The issue is who's buying it, right? Because according to some sales, Switch 2 sales, meh. Which, let's be honest, all right. So there's been the information about this Nintendo cutting production to America for the Switch 2 because apparently they're not selling the way they want them to. They did all the diverting and moving the inventory and stuff in the beginning when the price hikes and the tariffs was going on to try to appease the American market, and it seems like it was for naught because we ain't buying it. Now, why are we not buying it? It's as everyone's kind of pointed out, it's definitely not because of the hardware or the hardware's potential because it's pretty good or it's decent. Let me be real. I've had major complaints with my Switch 2. The battery sucks. It dies in idle state. The screen is mediocre at best. With all the like, they do need to do a whole refresh of the screen. To me, they missed out on OLED. Now I've been playing with a bunch of OLED devices. Um, and these are just the hardware issues. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about how it has absolutely no software. How my Switch 2 collects dust because, and even my son's after Mario Kart World's glamour wore off, it didn't have any family. We tried playing Donkey Kong Bonanza as a family. It was fun, but it's just like, is it fun enough? No. Mario Kart World definitely wasn't fun enough. My child literally plays 8 Deluxe because the courses and the idea is just a little bit more solid than Mario Kart World. They need to honestly, they just need to import all the stages from 8 Deluxe to keep it a bean and make that like a separate mode than maybe the World Tour mode with all the goofy. I don't know. They need to rework the game. It needs to have literally like a whole 2.0 patch because no one's playing that thing. And with that, no one's, you know what I mean, that being one of the few actual exclusives on the Switch 2, no one's buying it. Like it's falling off a cliff. Well, not a cliff, but everyone's going over this recent write up, right, of the Switch 1 versus Switch 2 in Europe, but it's doing the same in the US as well, where they're doing a 9-month comparison of the Switch 1 versus Switch 2. And yeah, it started off really strong, but yeah, overall, I guess only selling maybe 700,000 more units when you're a superior like cuz the Switch 1 is eventually like people just didn't first it was a stocking issue. And then it became a do we understand the concept? And once they did, history, right? It was out of here. The Switch 2 being a predecessor, we understand the concept, right? All they did was improve the concept. They didn't really add anything to it. Mouse mode, who cares, right? As far as stocking, that was the issue when it first came out, and that spiked demand literally for like 3 weeks. Because as I explained at some point where I was talking to people, I started seeing restocks when I got my Switch 2 at launch from GameStop locally, and I saw locally where I am, there were restocks like within the next week. So it wasn't selling to me. It wasn't overselling then. It was kind of like fake demand. Uh, and then of course the scalpers paid for it in the end when they all had to sell all their Switch 2s they bought at cost because no one's buying them at elevated prices. No one's buying them at regular price. Why are we buying them at elevated prices? That don't make absolutely no sense. I honestly had a spare one myself. I'm just like, I looked at it. I really wanted to keep it for like family member, and then as I looked at it, I'm like, no one wants this. And sure enough, they didn't get theirs until like a whole year later. So I literally it was the best idea to just give it back to GameStop. And it was so funny. I remember when I gave it back, they had GameStop didn't have any in particular at that time, and I gave it to the dude. He's like, "Oh my gosh, we don't have any of these. Oh, this is you're giving back on Switch 2." And I'm just like, I mean, I already have one, but it's like, eh. And he literally asked a customer as they was coming in, like, "Hey, y'all looking for a Switch 2?" Being funny, and they were like, "No, we don't care about that. We want some old Xbox 360 game." It was. I'm so serious, and I'm just like, see, so it makes sense. There's no exclusives right now, and I don't think that Star Fox, a franchise that literally is like, it's very niche franchise. I played it. I played on 64. I played Star Fox Adventures, and that's where my journey low key ended. I didn't play Star Fox Assault on the GameCube. I have Zero for the Wii U. Never played it. Um, so it's a niche series, and I played the 3DS version, which is a remake of the first game on the 3DS or the DS. One of those, I think it's on the 3DS, but very niche. I don't know why they thought that would be the franchise to push the Switch 2 sales. They need to have a hard hitting Nintendo game. There's already been the rumors, or it's already been, I guess, kind of confirmed that we ain't seeing no 3D Mario this year. It's not coming out till next year, which that would have made more sense. It's like you're releasing a Mario Galaxy movie with no Mario game, but instead it's like let's throw Fox out in there because we're giving him a game. That don't make no sense. It really doesn't. But marketing and Nintendo's team is all over the place. It's been all over the place. So no 3D Mario. Pokemon was announced and pushed on next year, which is whack, and it doesn't even look that great to me, to be honest. But it being pushed on next year definitely has me a whole time to contemplate how whack it is. Uh, let's see. I said I don't think Zelda remake is gonna sell units because it's just gonna make people just go play it on the consoles they already own. Yeah, we needed something like Pokepedia, but like because Player on Pokepedia is the one. That is the one outside of Pokemon or outside of Donkey Kong Bonanza that's gotten the people going. It's gotten some Switch 2s sold. It is an exclusive. It is no, you know what I mean? It's not on Steam or anywhere else. So, and it looks good. It looks actually pretty fun for Animal Crossing, Dragon Quest builders, Minecraft, Pokemon, right? But that game is for a particular person, yeah, it's for particular people. So not everyone's into the whole town management, villager appropriation or whatever you want to call it model. Like I said, I played Animal Crossing. Meh. I played all those games mentioned, and I think the Pokemon skin on it does make it more appealing. But it's once again not enough to make me buy a $500 console. Um, which I'm surprised they haven't announced. With all the price increases, like PlayStation announced another price increase on the PlayStation 5s, which is so dumb. But yeah, pushing the price increases of the supply to the consumers is I can see the stocks falling now. No one's going like the thing about that is everyone's kind of already maxed out probably where they want with the PS5. So it's like raising the prices means that you'll never sell another one again. Because $900 for a PS5 Pro, nuts. I don't care how nice PSSR makes you feel. No, no. I got my PS5 Pro for $500. 500 like $14. That's how much it should cost. Literally, like it's like $14 more than I paid for my original PS5. It's like no, $900 is I'm buying a PC and I will get way better game access and what's not. The only issue is that RAM, right? Hopefully you bought your RAM. If you do the PC route, hopefully you have your RAM now, because yeah, that's what is driving the price increases. First it was the tariffs. Now it's the cost of RAM, and yeah, they're pushing it to us. So I wouldn't be surprised with I think it's like 12 gigs of DDR5 RAM in the Switch. Is it like I think it's like 12 gigs, something like that, in the Switch too. I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually might try to raise the price, but it's just like it would be that is what would kill the console because I think that might be the main reason why they're slowing production. Not necessarily because they don't think the projections will get there, but because the cost of RAM has went up and they've seen that they're not getting that return right now, so maybe they'll wait for the price of RAM to go back down before they amp back up. 'Cause other than that, it would just be the proof in the pudding of yeah, we're gonna take. They can't raise the price of the console like Sony. It's just came out. They were contemplating raising it. I want to say right when the tariffs were announced. So it's like they might be already selling these at a L. But yeah, raising the price would literally kill the console. It would kill it. People already think it's expensive, and like I said, it has some cool features. It does have DLSS on the SoC, right? It does have 120 hertz screen, even though the IPS is trash and should have been OLED. It has lots of ghosting, and the controllers do feel good, but isn't to me it's not. I think that because they didn't put OLED and stuff, and because of Android handhelds I've been dealing with, like the Thor and the old and stuff, it should have been like sub $400, even with the dock. It should have been just above 400, like maybe like 425. That's how much I'm willing to pay for. I'm before 50, 500 for no exclusives and a ghosty screen. Hold up, with that didn't even have VRR enabled on the dot, or I don't think it's enabled quite yet. Period. Which I'm just like, I feel like it'd be something that could be a firmware update, possibly, if they future proof the dock with 2.1, which I think they did. But the console itself, man, it can't it literally can't take a price increase. It would kill it. No one would buy it. No one would want it to play once again the third time remake of Ocarina of Time. I'll just play on my computer, or I mean, we're one of these decompilations on the PC, which I think they've already decompiled Ocarina of Time. If y'all don't know what that means, it's essentially when the code for the game, the original game, has been dumped at some point on the internet, or data miners have gone through it, and very very talented devs then take that code and translate it to current today engines like Unreal Engine 5 or something like that, and then you have a PC port of one of the best games of all time. I know they've done it with like I think it's Super Mario 64 and stuff. But I want to say they've done it with Ocarina of Time already too, and yeah. Which sometimes like people call it, Nintendo sometimes takes that stuff too. They take it when it's open source. They'll take it and they'll put it in stuff like their GBA emulator. So, but then they'll sue you for it. Company man, it's they need a new head of helm. The Switch One last month outsold the Switch Two. Like I said, it's only 100,000 units, 150,000 units, but That's revenue. This is showing that there's a slowdown. Like I said, it's the slowdown's not good when it's like I said. It's not that people don't understand the concept like we did when the Switch One first came out, where people were like, "I don't get it. It's docks, and then you handheld it, and then it was the commercials to this day still like one of those top cool things. You couldn't even do that with the Switch 2. They literally was just like, "Here's the Switch One. It's bigger. Here's features that everyone's been doing for the last 5-6 years. Now you got it too, Nintendo guy." It's like, yo, we need games. We need new Mario's, new Links, new Donkey Kongs, new Pokemon. Y'all not know who your money makers is? Fire Emblem? I love Fire Emblem games. Them are not money makers. Hold up, new Samus that actually don't look like a old Switch game. You gotta know, man. This is what they gave us. They gave us new Donkey Kong. Cool. Not number. You're not number one. They gave us a half new Samus. No, not count. There's a new Yoshi. A halfway new Kirby. A new Kirby, a Deluxe 2 update. And a new Kirby might help. But honestly, that old Kirby game they updated. It's a pretty good game. This is stupid. New Fox. 2027. What are we doing? The console came out in 2025, Nintendo. What are we doing? Mother 3. That's used to be funny. No, that's never happening. Will we ever see this franchise revived? Huh? F Zero? Yeah. I'd rather see that than that little drifty game, the little F Drifter. I would love to see F Zero at 120 hertz. Native Nintendo. 1080p 120. It'd be better if it was 4K 120, but you didn't make the console power enough full enough for that. So we don't need no new Peach game. She literally just got her own game finally. But we'll take a Bowser game. What's up? Think outside the box, not just inside story type stuff. All right. No Ice Climber game. If you gave Sheik her own game, that might actually be lit. Like a game that's like just Zelda. You already gave Zelda her own thing, and it was cool. But like, if y'all had made it more like a, they use that magic part, but then it maybe split half the game to like be stealthy and Sheik mode. That would actually probably be cool. Honestly, that's something they should put in this new Zelda game. If they're gonna make us replay a boring, sorry, not boring, but a game we've played a gajillion times before, I would actually prefer something like that. Like have a stealth mode with Sheik, because Sheik just shows up in Ocarina of Time literally like 2-3 times. I think it's like outside like Shadow Temple and right outside Corcorio Village. It's like few key times, and it's like other than that, her getting a whole character in Smash with no actual gameplay in the game is wild. So in this one, I think they should make her a player, like have a backstory where they like switch to Zelda leaving the castle, turn the sheet, kind of like what they did with Lion King, right? Where they had this whole extra scene they made with Nala leaving the Scar town to go see Simba. I think they should do something similar with Sheik. I mean, the game's already in development, I'm sure already, but it would have been nice if they had pre-thought this ahead of. Let's do some shadow missions with Sheik. Her taking out Gerudo guards or not Gerudo. They don't. That's what Ganondorf is, but he's a male Gerudo, and the rest of them don't really rock with him. But yeah, this is some stealthy that's not that terrible part in the desert when Link is getting thrown in jail when he is in the Gerudo Valley. It'll be better than that. Anywho's, let's continue. Nope, we don't need it, but I think they already made a new Dr. Mario game. I already said this one, 2027, too long. He's coming. You, Falco, you better be in these games. You don't have to be playable, but you better have some quips. I love this series. I love Fire Emblem. We don't need a new Fire Emblem. Or sorry, it's not that we don't need one. Engage was cool. Not my favorite. It kind of was. It's kind of forgettable compared to like Three Houses or some of the other ones they made that are like really good. But it was kind of also like a shout out to those games because the whole thing is about getting the old warriors and protagonists from the old games. And I haven't even beat the game, man. It's cool. I think that they probably should have put their focus on maybe like Advanced Wars instead of giving us Advanced Wars 1 and 2 remake. They should have made us Advanced Wars, the official 3 after Dual Strike, like some type of conclusion after Dual Strike. That's what Intelligent Systems should be working on. No more Fire Emblem games for like 6 years. Um, Ganondorf's gonna be a part of the squad. Pokemon, Fire Emblem, no. Sorry, Game and Watch. We love you. Meta Knight, no. Yeah, Kid Icarus. Look at Kid Icarus game. I made that one cool game on a 3DS and no one played. You know, it would be a good idea. Once again, I don't know. I gotta do your job, Nintendo. You already remaking 3DS games and converting them over to the Switch and Switch 2 with stuff like Rune Factory and these things. I was like, it looked they literally took it and upscaled the graphics a little bit and just threw it on the Switch. Lazy, but do that same thing with the Kid Icarus remake of 3DS and fix the control schemes that were trash because you had to use a Circle Pad Pro or use a thing. Make them normal twin stick controls. Add the multiplayer back on the game. Boy, that might move some switches because that multiplayer is lit. So that might work. They ain't gonna do it. Hey, Zero Mission remake. I'd rather that. Zero Mission remake with an extended scene of that whole Zero Mission part where Samus loses her suit and has to get the power suit again. They added it in the first time, so now just re-add it, 3D it up, and make the segment maybe like an hour long, where you really gotta like move and groove with Samus and her little paralyzer. I'm giving y'all some good ideas. Y'all better take them. They're free. A new Wario game would be not WarioWare, but actually like Wario Treasure Hunty. I only had this on my mind because my son was playing the first Wario on the Game Boy, and I was like, ugh. These games aren't bad. They're just different. Third party, not worry about it. Fire Emblem 2027. Diddy Kong. They should probably do some DLC for Bonanza. I'm guessing they might have that maybe in the future. Sonic third party, and I think they are releasing the definitive edition of Sonic Frontiers for the Switch 2. So maybe he'll get all the 120 frames of 4K. Good work, and like I said, everyone's hoping that they get rid of that pop in because goodness gracious, it's so bad. But the game is so great. He's with Kirby and now. I don't need another Pikmin. I think they already released. No, they haven't released Pikmin. They released Pikmin 4, I think, for the Switch. I don't need no more Pikmin. So blah. But if they do, sure. I don't. I don't think they do though. Pokemon. He's a franchise guy. Once again, I don't think Wind Waker needs a sequel, but that might have been a better idea than a remake of Ocarina of Time. Just because people love Wind Waker. I love Wind Waker. Maybe something that would happen after Spirit Tracks and because those are technically the sequels to those games. Well, no, Spirit Tracks is like its own thing, but the first one on the DS is a sequel, like a direct sequel. I was playing through it the other day. I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I really was like. This is a sequel. Wind Waker. So not remake because I already remade it for the HD version for the Wii U, but a sequel would be cool. Star Wolf needs to show up in the Star Fox stuff. Another person they just need to throw in there because he's Wolf. They put him in Smash, so he's important. Even though in the game he literally like dies instantly. They don't explain them. They just like, hey, it's the team Star Wolf. Well, they're dead. Now they're robots. Oh, they're dead again. That's literally how it goes. Villager, they're gonna make a new Animal Crossing. They already patched up the other one, so it's like you don't really need to make a new one. But Mega Man, Apparently, we saw Mega Man 12 or whatever is on its way. I don't know what the Switch news is, but we know he's on his way. And they're not gonna make any more Wii Fit. Rosalina and Luna. So the only thing I can say for this, they just remade Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, right? Which ties to the movie, right? For the Switch. I don't think they're gonna if they, Mario Galaxy 3 would make the most sense if so they just remade 1 and 2. Rosalina, and that's what the whole movie is about. Maybe that's what the new 3D Mario is going to be. It won't be a sequel to Odyssey, which I think everyone wants. It would be a sequel to, which technically Donkey Kong Bonanza is. It'd be a sequel to Galaxy. So that's probably what it's going to be. Galaxy 3. And we'll see Rosalina again. Maybe Peach. That's probably the direction they're going to go. Odyssey 2 probably might not come up for a while. Little Mac game. That would be interesting. Not that interesting. Once again, if I was to give an idea, remake Arms maybe, and throw Little Mac in there as like a DLC with stretchy arms. I don't know. Pokemon. Really, I think the Kid Icarus 3DS Switch remake. Let's do it. Let's definitely do it. Pac-Man's third party. They'll take care of him. Fire Emblem Arby. I can already smell another Switch 2 Xenoblade Chronicles. It's coming. I don't think if they haven't announced it, it's coming. Xenoblade, that's actually a franchise that very niche, but it sells. I love it. So just wait. They patched up recently. Patched up Chronicles X Definitive Edition. That was a thing. Apparently, the Switch 2 boost or Switch 2, yeah, boost mode looks better than the Switch 2 patch, which is crazy because you got to pay for one versus the other. I think they haven't patched up Chronicles 3 yet though, or I think they added like the boost mode, but it needs its own patch. Like it's the most recent one. Besides Definitive X and X, but it's like it's the newer one. So it was like, come on now. But yeah, I can smell it. 4 is probably on the way. Bowser Jr. Duck Hunt, nope, dead franchise. We already got Street Fighter 6. We already got Final Fantasy 7, Renegade. These are the things that's like cool. It's like these third parties that you know what I mean that them showing up on the Switch didn't really make all that sense because the Switch don't really have that much power. But now cloud gaming power, right? But now we solidify these boys because we already got their actual games on the console. Pretty cool. That part's cool. Another Fire Emblem, like I said, is on the way. Bayonetta 3. I think I already made Bayonetta 3. So it'll probably be Bayonetta 4. I haven't really played these, so either way it goes, I could care less. This is a franchise that I love dearly, but I've wasted so much money because I keep paying and then not playing. I think they already released the Switch 2 patch for Splatoon 3. They probably should have waited for Splatoon 3 and just let it. I think it came out a year before the Switch 2 was announced, so it's like they should just waited. Give us more hype. Eh. Ridley is with Samus. Even though I'm not, did he show up in Prime 4? Probably not. It's not really about. You know, he likes Papa ain't about him. A new Castlevania game would be cool, but not necessary. You're a Donkey Kong. I think you're done though. And then Isabel. Fire or Animal Crossing. More Pokemon. You know. Star Fox is his own thing. He don't do no crossover. It's kinda crazy. These solo representatives. Because they franchises are strong. You got a strong franchise, you can represent yourself. No, this shows franchise. Bleh. Oh, I didn't. Why the DLCs didn't show up? Oh, because that was just the regular roster. Persona 6 is on the way. I already know. We already know. Dragon Quest 12, sure. Banjo Kazooie would be a nice franchise to bring back, but that's on Rare. It has nothing to do with Nintendo. So, and they're gonna probably release it to Xbox. That's also dying. Fatal Fury, they've released that. Arms, like I said, remake this game and then add Little Mac as fun DLC. That would be funny. Minecraft, not unexplained. It runs on a toaster. So Tekken, I think Tekken 8 is on which one, and then Kingdom Hearts. Anything but the cloud version, right? Just don't need that one. Ugh, cloud versions of why? Why are we doing that? I haven't looked at the site, and I've never looked at it in this iteration. I love it actually. It looks really cool. Sammy says, "It's my franchise." What is it? Nah, son. Well, that's my little deep dive for today. Um, oh, Nintendo figures it out, but the Switch 2, we need the games. The Mario movie, it needs to make sense. Um, or else Sonic is coming for him. Sonic 3 looks lit. We haven't even seen anything yet. Sonic 3 looks lit. I need to get together myself so I can talk about this eventually, which I call the. I want to talk about the store, even though I was very mad at AYN for them playing me during that process, and they still owe me some money and stuff. This thing is awesome, and I kind of want to call it the franchise Slayer, as it allows you to literally play entire franchises of Nintendo. Like I have the whole Smash franchise right here. It's beautiful. Let me just switch my hand camera. There we go. Ooh, Lord, desk is a mess. Lordy Jesus. Anyways, the franchise machine. Oh Lord, still can't really see with that light. I need to turn my brightness down. How do you turn the middle, the bottom screen? Oh Lord, I can't. Anyways, you play the whole franchise. I literally have the first game, Melee, Brawl, all in order. 3DS, Wii U, Smash 4, and then Smash Ultimate. And you can play all of them on this wonderful little device. It's so great. I love it. Um, and I'm gonna talk more about it. What is this? I'll talk more about it. That's crazy. This is supposed to be. I switched up one of my movers. Let's see. So yeah, I love these things, these games. I just want them to do their perform their best and also entertain us as the audience. That's it. Hope you look forward to the movie. Let me know if you have any predictions on it. I'm going to get together my thoughts on the rest of the Spider-Man stuff and whatever else news is out there. Other than that, you guys have a go and do your research and support the game too. Peace.